Hello, my little kitty cats! Good day or night to wherever you are in the world. Today's video is me doing a Genshin account review and introduction to me and the channel. So, let me give you a little context. I started playing Genshin on April 23rd of 2021, which was version 1.4 right before 1.5 released. I have always taken pride in my Genshin account. Even though I wouldn't describe myself as the most dedicated player, I wouldn't say I'm just a casual player either. Right in between, I'd say. Also, this account is not free to play. Credit to one of my old friends who gifted me a decent amount of Genesis crystals. And I myself have bought the Welkin and Battle Pass occasionally. With that out of the way, let's finally go on to reviewing my Genshin account. Okay, so here we have my profile displaying all my prides and joys. I currently have Neuvillette's premium team all at the top. And then I have Xiao, Xingyan, Alikino, Flint, Malvika, Sitlali, Miko, and Raiden. To be honest, I haven't paid much attention to Miko and Raiden, but everyone else I feel like I'm in a comfortable spot to share and be proud of their builds. And here we have in the Spiral Abyss. I currently was only able to 34 star the Abyss because I got really tired when I was doing my run. So I'll make sure to complete that soon, but I have 36 starred the Abyss pretty often. So next I have Imaginary Theater. There's this one scene where I couldn't get the last star for the life of me. So I would have gotten all 8 stars, but we're gonna have to rerun that soon. And Stygian Onslaught is there. That's my personal run, but I usually do Stygian Onslaught with my friend on Menacing. And here we have a little fade between the name cards. Just ignore the McDonald's one. I guess I just wanted to show it off a little. Anyways, now we're just gonna go into my backpack. And first off, we're gonna show off my weapons. So as you can see, this account was not free to play. I have a decent amount of signatures. I guess I just got signatures for characters that I really wanted or just felt like I needed for some reason. I know I definitely have some pulling regrets. Anyways, here's my artifacts. I have a decent amount of artifacts. I'm gonna say I take the time to organize my artifact sets, but I definitely do have a set for each character. It's some spares just lying around. And here are my resources. I just used a bunch of hero spits to level up my Flints and Ino. And I don't do much cooking because I just have my healing food and my revive food on me all the time. But I do use enhancing potions and defense potions. And here are my materials. I don't go out of my way to have a high amount of number. I just collect them if I need them. Except for food ingredients, I always try to sacrifice them to my transmuter, so I have a decent amount of them. Next, I have my gadgets. I think I have every gadget that's been released or from World Quest. I know some people like seeing the little pets. Of course, I think my favorite one has to be the little cat one, as it interacts with the little couch gadget. But I know some other people have been dying to get their hands on another Sealy because we haven't had that many Sealy events, so I'm lucky. I have 2. I got the pink one because pink is my favorite color. And then we got this kind of transparent tealish Sealy from another event. It was the only color, but still, it's a Sealy nonetheless. Going back into my backpack, here we're gonna have all the quest items. I have tried to keep up with the quests as soon as they release, and I've also been trying to do all the world quests that the game has to offer, especially if it has to do with 100% in an area, which most of them do. Next, on to the precious items. Here I have just a bunch of radiant spin crystals. Here I have a bunch of furnishings. Although my teapot isn't the best or decorated, I still use it to form Primogems and get the little transcendent resin that's also in there. I don't have many Primogems saved up because I actually tried getting a Jehuda on this banner but ended up getting a Durin, and still no Jehuda, by the way, as we're about to see. Next, we're gonna go on to the character archives just to show my collection. Here you can see all the 5 stars and 4 stars I don't have. So just scrolling down, as you see, I did end up getting Durin, but it's not like I didn't want him, but I also didn't want him, if that makes sense. Here I'm still missing a couple 5 stars. I tried wishing for everyone, but obviously that's just not possible. And I'm not like a heavy spender either. So here we are. As you can see, Amber has a date that I joined on. So as you can see, I did join around version 1.4. Going on to individual characters. First, we're gonna start off with Neuvillette, my pride and joy. Please ignore the 34 HP. I know it's supposed to be 40k, but I have his circlet switched out because another character uses it. So here are his stats. I swear they're better when he has his individual circlet on. And here is his signature weapon. I remember I got really lucky with it when I first wished for him on day 1. And here's his set. A lot of sparkly pieces, and I have him C4, aiming for C6, and I have him triple crowned. So, little side rant, I've actually always wanted Neuvillette. I didn't even know if he was going to be meta or not because people were saying he wasn't, especially in the small teasers that we got. And I was like, I do not care. I'm going to get Neuvillette in his signature and just make sure he's the absolute best unit that I have. So when his final kit got released, people were saying he was absolutely one of the most broken units ever to be released during Fontaine. And I was like, wow, how convenient for me. And Neuvillette definitely pushed me through a lot of endgame content, especially with how powerful he was. And with Marina right around the corner as his most powerful support, Neuvillette definitely got me through the game a lot, and I just love Neuvillette a lot. And also his English voice actor, Ray Chase, has always voiced a bunch of my favorite characters from other shows, so definitely I've just been, wanting to get him and just getting to know his character. He's one of my favorite characters, absolutely. And yeah, so when I get C6, I promise I will be the #1 Neuvillette fan till the end of the days. If there are no Neuvillette supporters, I am dead. Back to individual characters, here is Farina. As you can see, I do have her 40k HP. Here are her stats. I'm still trying to aim for that 200 crit damage. I have her signature weapon. And here are her artifact sets. I have some sparkly pieces, and I currently have her C1. I did try to aim for C2, and I have her double crown currently. Here is Kazuha. I currently have his signature weapon. Oh, and I forgot to show off the stats. Here they are. I know he can use a little bit more EM, but his ER is great. And here is his artifacts. I remember I had a hard time farming PV C0, and I currently have him double crowned. Here is my Shilolin, and she is level 90. Here are her stats. I have her defense all the way up. And I unfortunately did not get her weapon, but the weapon I have on her right now matches her pretty much, and I'm satisfied with that. And next are her artifacts. As you can see, I have Cinder City on her. She is C0, and I currently only have her double crowned. Here is my Navia build, and here are her stats. I promised the crit rate looked better when she had the weapon on her. But currently her and Malvika share the same 5-star weapon. So when Malvika's using it, I have her on gravestones, but she usually uses Beacon of the Wreath. Here are her artifacts. I have Marchese Hunter on her because I run her with Farina. I did not want to farm her set. She is Z0, and I currently have her just crowned once, but I am working on crowning her ultimate too. Here is Shan Yun. I love using her for exploration. Here are her stats. They're not the best, but they work for my Zhao team. And I have her signature weapon. I got it while wishing for Nahida's signature weapon, so it's great that I got it. Here's her artifact set. I have her on Songs of Day Pass because another character has VV set on them on my Zhao team. And I don't know what she's gonna swirl, Animo, I guess. I have her Z0, and I currently have her double crowned. Here is my Zhao. Here are his stats. I am still working on his new set, but currently I have a signature weapon, R3. I currently have him on Knight's Oath after switching from Vermilion. And next is Constellation. I got him C2 with a lucky double pull. And of course, I triple crowned them. He is also one of my pride and joys. And next is gonna be Skirk. Here are her stats. I'm still working on them, but I think she's alright so far. I did not get her signature weapon, but issue is really good for an event weapon. And I will be pulling for a signature later in the future. And next, we have her artifacts. I ended up getting some really good pieces for her when I was farming for Xiao's set. I have her C0, and I currently have her double crown, working on triple crowning her, and will be pulling for Escoffier for her. Next is Sit Lolly. Here are her stats. They could use some improvement, but overall she's fine. I have her on TTDS since I use her from Malvika. Here is her artifact set. I have her on Cinder City. And I have her Z0, and I do not have her crowned, but I am working on crowning her skill. Here is Ganyu. She was one of my first DPSs that I didn't use for some reason. Here are her stats. I'm working on the crit rate. And here is her weapon. I have her on Skyward Harp. And here are her artifacts. I have her on Shimunawas, because I have some pretty good pieces. As you can see, they're sparkling. And I have her on C0. And I am working on her even more because I do not use her that often, but with her outfit, maybe. Flins, I really love Flins. Here is his stats. And I actually got really lucky and pulling for his signature weapon. Here it is. Very lovely, it matches him. And for his artifact set, I'm still working on it, but I got some decent pieces that have definitely made him top tier. C0, and I have him just crowned once. Gonna double crown him and maybe even triple crown him in the future. And next is Claire Ann. Here is her stats. They could be better, but she's not my best DPS. Here's her weapon. I did not get her signature. And here are her artifacts. She currently shares artifacts with Arlecchino, so her stats could be better. It just depends on who I'm using for what. I did not have her crowned, but I do have her 9-9. Here is Yaimiko, and here are her stats. Pretty decent ER, and decent stats for a self-DPS, I guess. Here is her weapon. I ended up getting it while wishing for Zhao's. I have her on Golden Truth because I did not have another set for Shiminawa's. And I have her Z0, and I only have her one crowned. And here we are on Raiden. Here are her stats. They could be better, but they worked for early game. Raiden pushed me through a lot of early game content. She was day one. And here is her weapon. She originally was on the free-to-play The Catch, but I ended up getting her signature just to commemorate her for being like my first DPS that actually got me through the game. So yeah, I'll maybe work on her. I have her on Severed Fate. That's probably why she's not the best DPS, but we'll see if we get better pieces. And I have her Z0 with double crown. And here we have Nahida. Here are her stats. I know she could use more EM, but I actually don't use Nahida that often. I just kind of like her character. She's really cutesy, and I don't really fit her in any teams unless I need Dendro. I got her signature weapon because I was wishing on Shen Yun's. And here is her artifact set. I have her Z0, and I do not have her crowned as I don't use her that often. Here is Sagnamiya Kokomi. Here are her stats. As you can see, I have 45k HP on her. And as I remembered, I really wanted her, but I missed her on her first 2 reruns, so I'm finally happy I got her. Here is her weapon. I heard that her weapon was actually really bad on her, so I'm just using Prototype Amber on her. And here are her artifacts. I have some sparkly pieces along here. Really nice. I have her Z0, and I do not have her crowned, but I do have her 9-9. Here is Malvika, another one of my big DPSs. Here is her stats. As you can see, they're pretty decent. I do want to get 70 crit rate just to get more damage on her. Here's her weapon, using Beacon at the Reed, stolen from Navia most of the time. And here is her artifact set. I have some pretty sparkly pieces when I was farming for Cinder City set. And I currently have her Z0, unfortunately. And I currently only have her crowned once, but I'm gonna double crown her once I get the chance. Here is our Lucino. I remember I wanted to get her because she was aura farming in the teasers. Her stats aren't the best because Cloran currently has her set right now, but I promise she has the same stats as Cloran. And here is her signature weapon. I remember I got it because it just matched her a lot. Here is her artifacts, and I'll change them out soon. She is U0, and currently only have her double crowned and working on triple crowning her. Here is Diluc. He was my first standard character that got me through a lot of the endgame content. As you can see, I have his skin, and I like it. I use him in plunge teams ever since Shane Yun released, so yeah, he's really nice to play with sometime. There's that. And I also have his Echo. As you can see, really pretty. I remember when it released, I got it on the first day. It was really hard though. And here is his weapon. Obviously, my other 5 stars have stolen his signature weapon, but I am working on leveling up Dragon Spine. If he doesn't want to keep switching weapons, like if I just don't feel like it. But yeah, his signature weapon was Gravestone. Unfortunately, it's stolen from him. Anyways, here are his artifacts. He's like the only character I have a Crimson Witch of Flame set on. He is C2, lost my 50/50s a couple times. And I don't have him crowned that much. I don't even have him 9/9. I guess I'll work on him soon if I feel like it. Now I'm just going to be showing the constellations for my 4 stars. So C6 Verzon, C6 Sucrose, C6 Layla. And next I have a C6 Diona as well. C6 Fischl. And I also have her weapon. I ended up buying it because I did not get it in the event initially. So yeah, I will be showing the skins I have for the characters that I own. So here is a C3 Ino. I did not get that lucky in pulling her when I was pulling for Flynn's. C6 Shinshu. And I have his outfit too. Very lovely. I think the Lancerite outfit is definitely a lot better than his original outfit. Sue me. And here's a C1 Chevy. My greatest disappointment. I wish I had more Chevy constellations. I really do. Here is a C6 Bennett. Guys, please C6 your Bennett unless you're a Eula main. And I have this outfit. The Natlan outfit is really nice, but I don't see much of a difference between his original and Natlan, to be honest. And of course, here is a C6 Shanling. I also have her outfit. It's super cute. If you have a chance to like buy it, you definitely should. It's really cute. And then I'm gonna pull up my Sino here for a bit. He's actually unbuilt. I really like Sino as a character. He's definitely one of my faves, but he's just not meta. And I sometimes follow meta, I sometimes don't. And I really tried getting his signature weapon, but I just couldn't. I have him Z0. And then I have a C6 Beto. I have a maxed out Traveler for all the elements. And here is Durin. I'm currently working on building him. I have him Z0 as well. And here I have a C6 Ningguang. And I actually only have a C4 Sarah as a Raiden main. It's so unfortunate. I wish I had her C6. And then here is my Tainari. I only have him C3. Lost my 50/50 on him once. And I got the constellation from like the yearly event where you get a standard character. I ended up getting his signature weapon. And then here's a C5 Noel. And then a Z0 Eon-san. How unfortunate for my account so far. And then here is Klee Z0. And I do have her outfit. I will consider building her in the future. She is such a cutie. And with the Hexacry, she'll definitely be a great DPS. I have a C4 Amber. And now we're gonna move on to my unbuilt 5 stars that I wish for. Here's a Chiori Z0. I want to build her. She's really pretty. I just don't have any use for her right now. Here is Ito. He's also Z0. He's really funny, so I wish for him. Here's Albedo. I like him as a character. He's an artist. I'll build him one day. But currently, he's unbuilt and at Z0. I have both of the mannequins unlocked. I'm not really a heavy spender in Milliaster Wonderland. Here's Mizuki, Z0 as well. I really wanted her. Here is the Wanderer. I tried to name him after Lumine because I'm bad at names, so I just moved the E because we weren't allowed to. He's also at Z0. I'll maybe build him because I have Risley's weapon on him, which is a decent weapon, but we'll see how I feel. I really don't like his character because he comes off like as really rude, but that's just me personally. Next is Jean, and I currently have her C2. Lost my 50-50 on her a couple times. And then Aloy, she doesn't have any constellations, but I do own her when they made the collaboration. Here's Eula, and she's also Z0. She's really pretty. And here's Chi-Chi. I have her Z0 because I actually never lost a 50-50 to her, and I only got her when I got the invite for the year. Here's Akechi, Z0, but I do have her outfit. She's really pretty. Maybe I'll use her in a Dendro team. Here is Mona. I have her C4. Definitely lost my 50-50 to her a couple times. Here is Winnie. I haven't built him. Maybe I will. I like his character. Here is Dihia. And here, oh, I forgot to show. She is C2. Lost her a couple times. C1 Kachina. C6 Yujin. AC6 Ukwaru. AC6 Ifa. And here we have a C1 Lion, a C6 Lynette, C6 Haizu, C3 Sayu, a C5 Charlotte, a C6 Fremine, C6 Mika, and then I currently have a C6 Rosaria, a C5 Chongyun, a C4 Kaya. I also have his outfit. His Sumeru outfit is really nice, but I also like his default outfit. Here we have a C0 Hororon, a C3 Septos, a C6 Dory, and a C4 Cookie, a C6 Razor, and a C6 Lisa. I also have her outfit. It's really nice. I'm also torn between their two outfits. Really nice. And I have a C1 Kave. When I get him C6, I promise I will main him. I love Kave. He's like my Kinney. So yeah, one day I'll build him, but just not now. I have a C6 Yao Yao, a C5 Kale, a C2 Carrara. I also have her outfit. From the event I got it from is definitely one of my favorites. I have a C1 Dahlia, a C6 Candace, a C6 Barbara, and a C6 Gaming. And I have a C1 Toma, and a C5 Yanfei, and lastly a C5 Xingyan. Woo! That is a lot of characters that I own, and I hope to increase my collection in the coming year. And next, I'm going to show my exploration. I have a 100% mod stat. I'm still working on Dragon Spine. It's literally the bane of my existence. And here we can see I have started to 100% leeway. I was really looking for some white tassels before I got all the chests, so let's just say that definitely helped and motivation for 100% leeway. And if we go down here, down to Inazuma, you can see I have 100% all the islands in order. I remember Mitsui Island was definitely the bane of my existence, along with Tsurumi Island. All the ghosts and the fogs is not. Anyways, here we have a work in progress chasm. And as you can see up here in Chenyu Valley, it's definitely a work in progress. But I have gotten the little statue offering to max. Here I was working on Sumeru for the Primogems. It's nearly all 100% besides Ashran Realm. And I barely touched the Sumeru Desert. It really is the bane of my existence. I just really have a hard time exploring it with all the underground places and the permissions. And here in the story region is 80%. But as we'll see later, you'll see what exploration I have the underwater place at. And Fontaine was my first 100% actually, even like after Mondstadt, I guess. I really love exploring Fontaine. And now down here, towards Natlan. You can see I have 100%. It was definitely really nice exploring this area. The rewards were really bountiful. If I had to recommend exploring any area for the rewards, it would definitely be Natlan. I have their expansion, also 100%. And Easy Breeze Holiday Resort is so much fun. Please 100% this. I promise it's worth it. And Not Cry, it's a work in progress with 100%. Only Paha Ayo is left. And next we're going to explore the other places. In Kanomiya, I haven't explored it. I've barely touched the quest either. The Chasm is also barely explored at 70. Let's see if Bygone Eras is 100%. I really wanted their little name card thingy. It was really nice. And then Itrat Second Mountain is at 80%. Still work in progress. Next, I'm just gonna do a quick team showcase. As you can see, I have a lot of teams, but I will be showing off my premium Neuvillette team. So I'll just let I guess I'll just let this play in the background with no commentary. Hope you guys enjoy the little Genshin ASMR with the Arlecchino boss.
Afraid? Or do you not even have the courage to be afraid? Is it my turn
great names
with
echo?
these rising flames?
Settle down.
Now that's more like it. With the fall of darkness, destruction shall rise. Have a taste of purgatory. Spare your energy. Running is of little use.
Be sanctified. Silence!
My blade is all that remains.
As one with wind and cloud, one with nature.
Let the mountain's face boil!
Settle down.
Sundown is only the beginning.
Bow your head.
So there's a little showcase on my Neuvillette team. I know our rotations were a little off and I wasn't hitting my abilities, and such the perils of being on mobile. But as you can see, my Neuvillette team is pretty powerful, even if I forgot to switch out a circlet again. And I just kind of hope you guys just enjoy this little Genshin review of my account. I hope to definitely kind of more focus on my account up in the coming year. Looking forward to 2026. And I hope you guys will stick around to support my channel throughout that year. I have been always looking forward to be a content creator, and I just always had to be honest, I've just kind of liked playing Genshin, even though I feel like there's definitely better games out there. I've just been playing Honkai Star Rail as well. The quality of that game is just so superb, but I just have attachment to the world of Genshin. And some of the characters I definitely own here are definitely my favorite. I just hope to just keep improving my Genshin account and to help you guys out as well. If you're wondering what type of content I'll be releasing, I'll just be trying to release content that helps people out if they're new to the game. I know I got my boyfriend into the game not that long ago, and he's completely lost on what to do because he just absolutely hates reading, and Genshin has really bad tutorials on explaining how to do things without having a wall of text. So I'll just be releasing little guides to help newer players and just 100%ing content, world quests, and other stuff like that. So I'll just be releasing content that helps other players, such as guides and other stuff of exploring. But overall, if you really just kind of want to support a new content creator, please subscribe and like my video and just comment down below on what you like to see from me. I'd be willing to do it if it makes you guys happy. So overall, thank you for watching. Goodbye, kitty cats. Have a good day or night wherever you are in the world.